Hello, I'm Mary Hammond, the editor of the Plain Truth magazine, and I'd like to wish you a very warm welcome to our website. Thanks for taking the time to stop by and visit, and we hope that you'll have a pleasant stay and leave knowing a little more about our Christian charity and the topics that we cover in this free magazine. A magazine which is posted to over 80 countries worldwide, to subscribers in places such as Afghanistan and Argentina, to those receiving copies of the Plain Truth in Zambia and Zimbabwe. The Plain Truth was originally launched many years ago with the purpose of engaging its readers in topics that are of particular interest to them, but from a Christian perspective. But unlike the majority of Christian publications, our primary target audience wasn't biblical scholars, theologians, or lifelong committed church-going Christians. Rather, we aim to reach people with an interest in the world around them, looking at the causes and effect of mankind's actions and explore these issues from a Christian perspective. But then, in 2002, facing closure by its previous publishers, its former editor and I made an appeal to its many thousands of subscribers asking for their support. The response was overwhelming. Donations came flooding in, showing that our magazine was valued highly, enabling us to stay in print and establish the Plain Truth as an independent charity. Since that time, sadly, many other printed Christian publications have ceased to exist. Long-time titles like Christian Herald and the Baptist Times, and church attendance in the UK has been on the decline too. You may be interested to know that on Census Day on the 30th of March back in 1851, 7 million people in Britain, that's a whopping 40% of the population, went to church every Sunday. Just over 150 years later, the proportion of churchgoers had dropped dramatically to just 7.2%. For many people, religion had simply become irrelevant to their way of life. But back to the Plain Truth. As I mentioned earlier, our free magazine aims to bring the Christian message primarily to people who have questions about the meaning of life. Those wanting to know more about the creation of the universe. Is there a creator, or did life just happen? Or coping with issues of everyday life such as bereavement, depression or debt, or what happens when we die. Christianity has something to say on all these topics, and our aim is to bring that message to the reader in an understandable language and concepts that can be read in a challenging but non-confrontational way. But our articles also tell of inspiring stories of individuals' successes when faced with adversity in their lives. Christian characters like Helen Keller, the profoundly deaf-blind girl who went on to become a highly successful author, world-famous speaker, and a role model for many thousands who would be inspired by her life. Then more recently, we explored the topic of being ethical consumers and shared the story of a Cardiff-based Christian who was instrumental in establishing a coffee roasting business that now employs and supports those caught up in human trafficking and prostitution, giving them a new start in life. Ordinary Christians doing extraordinary jobs and motivated by their faith. Although we've come a long way since those early days, our articles are still just as relevant and as well received as they ever were. Here's what one reader, Mr. MS from Witham in Essex, had to say about our winter 2017-18 magazine.
Many thanks for yet another excellent issue of the Plain Truth magazine. I was particularly impressed with Roy Lawrence's article, The Curse of Political Correctness. He bravely said what most of us probably think, though many stay quiet, perhaps because they're afraid of the possible consequences. His article was a very balanced, common sense and proportional response to an insidious cancer that is gradually ruining our society. It was very well put, Reverend Lawrence.
And did you know that the Plain Truth also comes highly commended and admired by others involved in the Christian publishing industry in the UK too? Here's what the former chairman of Premier Christian Radio had to say about our magazine.
I am both amazed and envious at how the Plain Truth has not only survived, but thrived and reaches a market that has so far eluded the leading Christian publications and media in the UK today.
So I hope I've whetted your appetite and that you'd like to sign up for your free subscription to our unique Christian publication. Whether you'd like to receive a printed copy or just download a PDF or flipbook version of our magazine, just let us know your preference. Again, thanks for stopping by and getting to know more about the plain truth, and we look forward to you visiting again in the very near future. God bless.